happened was they put the lake in that spot to cover up the ruins.
Oh,
interesting.
Interesting.
4D chess right there.
Yeah. So you're saying all lakes are man-made?
You have 53,000. So if you're going to go with how many are in America, that's a lot, right? So 53,000, and the average lake sits at about, the average, well, if we're going to go with dams and everything, they sit at about 40%. So if they're technically low, right, that's what they try to tell you, it's always low. It's never actually full. So they're always going to pull the whole, well, we're running water because there's not a lot of water in those dams. But it's interesting because even the Hoover Dam and that whole thing that was built, that's all part of the Phoenix and Arizona right here in this state. And that's got a lot of ancient lineage over there too as well. And it's interesting because that was right around the time with the Phoenix fire, which was 1916 on September 23rd. So that's kind of right around that time when all those things were happening. But this water deceiving is basically you have these controllers who hold the water up here, and then they say down here, you're running water, when in reality, there's water coming out of the earth.
Oh.
So for example, California had an earthquake. This was 3 years ago. Northern California had an earthquake. And all of a sudden, one of the rivers just started pouring water. And the people were like, what the heck is going on? There's water coming out of the river. The river hasn't had water ever, right? So people were completely baffled that now water is coming back. Then on top of that, you had back in the 1950s when the lakes were actually low, they used primary water, which is the water coming up from inside the earth, to refill Lake Elsinore when it got low in the 1950s. So the people who are up here holding the water know of primary water because they use it to their advantage. And someone, if we're going to take it to another level, was saying that's how they did floods. They understood how to get that primary water out of the earth, and then they could flood an area. So it's interesting with the whole primary water because we're never taught about it. We're always taught about these clouds, which who knows what they are, but these clouds with this rainwater cycle. And if we stop getting rain, all of a sudden we're going to run out of water.
Okay.
But if you come to Arizona and you see how green it is over here, these trees are getting water from somewhere else. They're not getting water from the sky. They're getting water from deep inside the earth.